As veterans in this country, the inner struggle that they may face off the battlefield can be more daunting than they ever saw or encountered at war. Those who struggle with PTSD and other mental scars are in dire need of assistance to help navigate their post-traumatic or post-combat lives. And for many, the VA is just where they turn, unfortunately. But the VA has recently come under fire for their gross mishandling of this situation with their Hotline Crisis Center. A veteran texted the hotline informing the responder that they were considering suicide. The responder then instructed the veteran to enact a safety plan with a nearby family member, but did not bother to contact the veteran directly by phone or alert first responders. Now, this text communication between the two parties lasted about 48 minutes, but after the final text from the veteran, the responder terminated communication, and 27 minutes later, and then 11 minutes after that, the veteran was dead by suicide. It's amazing. Well, joining me now, former Navy SEAL Eddie Gallagher, co-founder and director of operations at the Pipe Hitter Foundation, along Johnny Wilson, founder and CEO of INVI Mind Health. All right, gentlemen, you are, we'll get to your race and what you're doing in a minute to raise money and awareness for this, but how bad is it, Eddie, that we continuously see the VA fail veterans, nobody gets fired, nothing gets changed?
Well, let's face it, I believe the VA is made up of just as many competent people as incompetent, but I believe that they just can't keep up with the mental health crisis that's going on in the veteran community, especially after 2 decades of war.
Yeah. Johnny, you and Eddie are about to do one of the craziest things I've heard in a long time, which is run like a bazillion miles. You're going to swim, run with rucksacks and all this stuff. What are the total distances and what is the outcome of this amazing race that you're bringing light to?
Yeah, so it's 200 bazillion miles, actually.
My bad.
No, all kidding aside, it's we're going to skydive into Yellowstone, swim 10 miles, and then run 200 miles with kit, all to raise awareness around what you talked about earlier. There's some cracks in the system. The system is slow. We need to do better. The tools are archaic, and we feel there's some light that needs to be brought to it and some better action that needs to be taken.
Yeah. Well, here's some more information about this veteran who took his own life. The article that talked about it reads, the San Antonio area veteran previously had been flagged as being a high risk for suicide, but that flag had been removed the year before, eliminating the marker that would have warned the veteran's crisis responder of the veteran's mental health history. So, Eddie, we go through this again, and you said there's as many good people as bad people, but why do we keep having so many bad examples and so few people with good examples?
Well, obviously, the negative is always going to be highlighted, and these are unfortunate circumstances that happen. But again, I say, we shouldn't be dependent on the VA or the government to take care of one another. And that's why, myself, our foundation, Pipe Hitter, has linked up with Johnny and INVI Mind Health because they created a solution, which is actually pretty basic. All right. It's accountability. As you know, Carl and Johnny, we went through BUDS. You have a swim buddy system. You're never you have to be within 6 feet of your swim buddy. If your swim buddy's messed up, then you're messed up. Well, this is going to carry on. What INVI Mind Health has done is create an app that creates accountability between members, right? So if a member is falling below a mental health line, it alerts the other member to call him immediately and check on him. And I think we need more of that and not depend on the VA to be doing that work for us. So,
Johnny, how do people find out more about this event? How do they help the process? How do they move this down the field? Because this is fantastic.
Yeah, so INVI MikeHotel.com. So if you go there, you'll learn about INVI. And as Eddie was sharing, INVI is it's an app that has spent a couple $100,000 to build an algorithm that helps us track your mental well-being through our watches. Super basic. Yeah. And then we create a swim buddy system. You're off of the baseline. You're not going to reach out to me when you're in that dark place. I know that because we've been there together before, nor did I reach out to you, right? So It's going to take a trigger for you to check in. Okay, Johnny's not doing well today. Let me check in and see how he's doing.
Yeah. Real quick before I let you go, the website one more time.
INVIMH.com.
All right, perfect.
Have you noticed that as everything around you seems to decline, one thing still grows? It is the power of your rulers. None of their plans and directives have solved your problems or made your life better. The only result has been their increased control over you at the cost of your freedom. Do you know why? You gave them the power.